ただいまより神戸市による神戸×アフリカ、アフリカスタートアップとの協業の可能性を探ると題したプレゼンテーションを開始いたします。字幕スーパーが右手前方のモニターに映し出されますのでご参照ください。The presentation by Kobe City will now begin. The live translation will appear on the monitor to your front right. それではよろしくお願いします。
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shiori Fukuda from Kobe City Local Government. Thank you for coming, joining our session, Kobe in Africa Initiative, Unlocking Opportunities, Collaboration with Startups in Africa. And I'm in charge of supporting startups, specifically focusing on overseas expansion and attracting overseas startups. And before moving to our main session, panel talk, let me start by introducing Kobe for those who don't know where Kobe is. Kobe City is a city located in the geographically center of Japan, in the Kansai region in Japan. Kansai is Japan's second largest economic area with a GDP of $841 billion US, on par with countries like Netherlands and Switzerland. Kobe has been actively supporting startups under the brand LifeTech Kobe since 2016. And in fact, we are one of the first local governments in Japan to launch startup initiatives starting back in 2016. And since then, we've evolved into a city aiming to become a global startup hub with a strong focus on biomedical, food, IT, aerospace, and new industries. And now you might be wondering, Kobe and Africa, why Kobe is focusing on Africa? And the reason is this. Kobe and Africa have long maintained strong ties. Since 2016, we have signed MOU with African partners and sent business missions to Africa. Today, Kobe hosts an annual African Month event promoting both business and cultural exchange between Japan and the African continent. And 2025, this year, is a special year for us. With the Osaka Kansai Expo, then and internationalization of our local airport, Kobe Airport, and TICAD 9 is coming up. We see this as a momentum to further accelerate business collaboration between Kobe and Africa. But for many Japanese companies, Africa still feels distant and unfamiliar. At the same time, I believe we all recognize its immense potential, both in terms of innovation and market opportunities. In the next session, panel talk, we'll dive deeper into how collaboration with African startups can serve us. But before moving to the panel talk, let me share the important announcement. As a part of African Month, Kobe City is now accepting business idea application for our Africa Business Contest. It's going to happen in August this year, and now we open the application. And finalists may receive prize money and travel support from abroad to Kobe, and the chance to connect with Japanese companies, investors, other great stakeholders. The deadline is just 1 week away, 16th May. We already gotten more than 140 applicants already, but we're still open, and we are looking forward to see more and more good, great business idea and business plan in Africa. So if you are interested in starting business or running business in Africa, or if you know anyone who might be interested in this, please check the detail. This is the QR code to link the event page. Okay, here we can move to the next session. Please come on the stage.
Okay, thank you very much, Fukuda-san, for the introduction. So I will take over the floor. So please sit down. Okay, my name is Chie Naito. I'm also from the Kobe city government. Today, I will be the moderator of a panel talk exploring collaboration with startups in Africa. Why Africa now? So I'm so honored to be welcome the three distinguished guests. From on your left-hand side, Mr. George Murumba from Auda, Nepal, offering the continental perspective on African economic development and startup ecosystem. And Mr. Shinpei Watanabe, JICA expert based in Uganda, he's going to share the experience on supporting startups on the ground. And Mr. Takeshi Isaku, Executive Officer, Chief Innovation Officer from Musashi Seimitsu Industry. He's going to also share the experience of as a Japanese company already active in Africa. So I will give you the time to introduce yourself when I will ask the first question. So please just wait a second. So I will explain about our panel talk today. So in recent years, Africa is attracting the global attention, not only for its robust economic growth, but also the rising the startup scenes. And those startups, including three of them from Africa, they are bringing the solution to the local challenges, but also they are creating new opportunities and a new market. So this is a kind of the chance for the Japanese business person to enter the African market. But as Fukuda-san just shared in the introduction, for the many of the Japanese companies, still like Africa feels distant or unfamiliar. So taking this opportunity, I'd like to shed a light on the potential of Africa, and maybe they're going to share about how we, as a Japanese company, collaborate with African startups to enter the African market. So without further ado, I'd like to start with the first topic. This is about the African economic situation. So first question goes to George-san. But before we dive into the first question, I'd like to ask you to introduce yourself and introduce what Auda Nepal is doing in Africa to supporting their economic growth and fostering the innovation. And after that, please share about the macroeconomic factors such as big growth of the population and urbanization that Japanese company when considering entering the African market. So please.
Thank you very much. My name is George Murumba. I am from the African Union Development Agency. The African Union Development Agency is part of the African Union. We are the implementing agency of the continent. We do this through our main flagship program, which is called Agenda 2063, to drive economic integration, to drive our economic prosperity. So, for example, we work across sectors: infrastructure, health, human capital, industrialization, and this is the reason why we are here today. For example, promoting the issues of ventures that support some of our areas that are needs, like health, like economic growth, and the likes. Going into the issues around why Japanese companies, for example, should be interested in Africa, you've just mentioned number one, the population. Africa's population stands at 1.4 billion today. It will be 2.5 billion by 2050. That is definitely a market for consumers that I'm sure, people would want to be part of that. Africa's economic growth, although coming off a low base, is still growing and is better than most of the other economies in the world. So that's something that I think people should be, interested in as a market. The other aspect is that 40% of our population currently is urbanized. That will grow into 60% by 2050. What does that do? It introduces new demand dynamics. So that's something, again, that companies that are based out of Japan would be interested in. In the same breath, there's a lot of digitization that is going on. In the continent, we have huge penetration of cell phones, huge digitization with respect to banking and the like. So that's something that I think Japanese companies should be interested in. So I think those are enough, some of them. But also, last but not least, we have the largest integrated market through the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. It is taking traction, and hopefully in the near future we'll have a seamless market of almost $3 trillion. So that's something that I think many companies would be interested in from the continent. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's a very informative comment. Actually, before I joined Kobe City, I worked in Cambodia, and the GDP growth in ASEAN region in 2023 is same as Africa as a continent. So why not we focus on Africa, not only ASEAN country? Yeah, this is one of the reasons we have to focus on the African market. Thank you so much. So next question goes to Watanabe-san. So he lives in Africa and works in Africa. So I want to ask, as a Japanese perspective, so have you witnessed any signs of like economic growth in daily life? And the next question also, do you have any like recommendation or what type of business opportunity for the Japanese company are existing in Africa?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shinpei Watanabe, and I'm working at, well, my position is a JICA expert. Maybe I hope the most everyone know about the JICA, and about JICA stand for the Japan International Cooperation Agency, and we are one of the Japanese governmental agency and for supporting the developing countries. And actually, so I am promoting ICT industry promotion project in Uganda. And yeah, as Naito-san introduced me, and yeah, so far I have been involved for Africa in 10 years. So maybe for the economic growth. And yeah, I live in Uganda now also. And yeah, significant change for the economic growth. Yeah, maybe the very, very casual situation. So sometimes I go to the cafe, and 10 years ago, so compared to the 10 years Uganda today to the 10 years ago, in cafes, most of customers are the foreigners, the American guys, the European guys. But you can see currently the many local Ugandan customers. And yeah, actually, so this cafe's lunch price is maybe the 15 USD or 20 USD. So expensive, right? So yeah, in my case, so I take my family to this cafe just per month, or only the once a month. So yeah, I was surprised. So this is very significant change. And the second one, so yeah, of course, so I am supporting the tech startup in Africa or Uganda, and there is a very big increase in the tech startups in comparison to the 10 years ago. And yeah, later, so Lidelink, so Uganda startup, we'll talk later. But for example, the Lidelink is a logistic company. And so they are providing the platform, the matching the customer and the transporters. And without this service, so there is very, very difficult to sending some luggage to the foreign countries. But with this, their service, so our lifestyle and our business environment is very improved. So the tech startup, well, yeah, just startups is helping improve to the African people's lifestyle and the business environment. So yeah, of course, I am supporting these startups, and that's all. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I just want to also share the experience when I was in Cambodia. I felt like the people in Cambodia, they look future very positively. So tomorrow going to be better than today. The future going to be better than now. It's kind of a little bit different culture from Japanese cultures right now. I'm not complaining about Japan, but yeah. So that brings like, how to say, it's like maybe there are so many people just taking the new things like technology, or the customers' appetite maybe going to be higher. Yeah, that's kind of the things will also foster the innovation. This is a good synergy, I think. So this is happening in Africa. Thank you very much for sharing that. So Watanabe-san just shared the startup So I want to touch upon the startup as well. So next, yeah, George-san, what is the current trend of the startup scene in Africa? And is there any specific sector active, like agri-tech or health tech or like IT? Yeah, could you share that?
Yes, thank you very much. Indeed, I think startups are becoming a major phenomenon in the continent. About $5 billion in 2023 was the amount of capital that was attracted. You might look at this as an amount that is, compared to the global average, a little bit small, but you must think of it from the base from which we are coming from, right? So that's important. So definitely this is growing. We have a lot of fintech. As you know, Africa is unbanked, for example, and a lot of technology is going into democratizing banking and increasing penetration of banking. We've just come off the back of COVID-19, so access to health is also another major area that is growing, and some of the colleagues who are here today are testament to the ventures that are growing, telemedicine, access to medicine, distribution of medicine, and the likes are areas of growth. Agriculture is the mainstay of the continent, so agri-tech, something that Japan is good at, is quite an area that is also growing. Logistics and supply chain, something Japan is very good at as well, is an area that in tech that startups are coming up with. So yeah, those are the trends, the trends that are growing in Africa. I say digital technology as well is an area that Japan is good at, and also something that Africa is keen to leapfrog, because our development path is different to the rest. We have to leapfrog, and these are some of the solutions through the startups that are up there as an example. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, leapfrog is one of the good aspects of the African startup scene. Like Japan, not complaining Japan, but but Japan, it takes time to adopt a new technology because they are already existing the solution here. Yeah, so it's one of the good things. And on the other hand, I'd like to ask to Watanabe-san, is there any challenges for the startups in Africa? Like, is that the logistics issue or infrastructure or like regulatory issues?
Okay, thank you very much, question. And I forgot to say the important thing before my explanation. So actually, my son's name is George. So your name with your name, same with your name. Yeah. Okay, so the challenges, right? Yes. So my son's name is not challenges in Africa. No, yeah, of course not challenges. Because my name is Shinpei. So Shinpei is very difficult to pronounce for African people. So I gave my son George, very easy to pronunciation in Africa. Yes. And challenges. Okay, so maybe there is 3 points about the three for the African startup, right? Yes. So maybe the 3 important challenges is the fundraising and infrastructure and regulatory. Yes. And fundraising, actually, so most of the African startup plan to the exit through M&A, not IPO, because in Africa, so there is they have the stock exchanges, but stock exchanges is not well developed, so that they have to what they want to, exit through the M&A, and maybe some of African companies or startup plan to do the IPO in the USA stock market, but there is this very, very rare example. And about the fundraising, so there is venture capital or the international venture capital who focuses on the African market is very, very increasing. And of course, there is some the domestic VC. But actually, so if the world economy is bad, so the investment to African market is also affected and below or down. And I am in Uganda, and the Uganda's problem is international VC is focusing on, I can say, the only big four countries. Big four is South Africa, Egypt, Kenya, and Nigeria. So the Uganda is unfortunately not focused on the international venture capital. So maybe so that's why I'm here. And next is the infrastructure, and I explained about the logistic issue, logistic example. But another infrastructure is maybe you can imagine easily about the electricity supply. So of course, most of the developing countries, electricity is not stable, and of course this problem affected our business, and almost regulatory is same situation. And just this is the very best timing, and I just talked about this issue with Ugandan startup. And in my mind, regulatory is so disturbing our business. But so this is the over regulatory is so disturbing our business. But if there is no regulation, there is no fair competitiveness. So immoral company will do bad action, and they cannot do the compete under the fairly environment, right? Yeah. Yeah. So this is maybe the African startup is struggling or facing the three challenges, and also, but maybe I needed to say, so this is just current challenges, so not permanent problem, and of course African startup is waiting. So you or a Japanese company, so as a partner to solve this challenges or problem together. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, that's what I wanted to know. I wanted to hear. Yeah, our the presenters from startups, they also noted about the exit strategies. It's quite difficult to do the IPO in Africa, so the startups in Africa is looking for the kind of the investors or business partners. So this is a good opportunity for the Japanese companies as well. So this is going to be might be the like win-win partners. So next, I want to ask Takeshi-san, Isaku-san. Sorry for making you wait.
Sounds like
long.
I'm so quiet. No?
So I want to ask you.
I wait 22 minutes.
Companies, activities in Africa. So I have studied a bit about your company's
Thank you very much.
activities in Africa. It seems like you have already collaborated with several African entities, including startups. So
Right.
could you elaborate more on that?
Yes. First of all, my name is Takeshi Saku. I'm Chief Innovation Officer of Musashi Service Industries. We are located in Toyohashi, Aichi, but at the same time, we have located in 14 different countries, except Africa. Yet, we are automotive manufacturer, automotive parts manufacturers. That's why we've been set up the plants and all over the world. But Africa is only the continent except Australia, which we didn't go anyway. But one of the reasons we are interested in Africa is it's blue ocean countries. So some country like India, Indonesia, if we want to do something, you got to replace the legacy cost. Like we are promoting EV scooters, motorcycles, three-wheelers. If we deploy those products in Asian countries, you have to replace the current ICE infrastructure with EVs. But in Africa, before the ICE infrastructure is expanding, we really want to, replugging to start the EV in those countries. And that's why we are so much interested in the country. But, we are auto parts manufacturers, and we are promoting the EV in country with Africa. However, that's not our goals. We really want to, that's a step one. Step 2 is we want to utilize the battery, use the battery, put it onto the areas they don't have electrified, so that people, kids, study at night. If we had the lights and maybe tablet, I don't know the reason why, but even in a non-electrified country, they have a cell phone. They can connect to internet. I don't know why, but if we just take the electric with the battery in those countries, they can study, and if they study, they got to start something, and so energy service, education. After that, as we mentioned, the population of Africa is expanding from 1.4 to 2.5 by 2050. So we really want to generate the agriculture in the country, degenerative agriculture in the country of Africa. But yes, that's what we really want to do.
Okay, thank you very much. That's very inspiring. Like, but when did you start your initiative to Africa?
It's 2022.
Just
So we
only
are
2
not
years.
we don't have much of the history and experience in Africa yet. And actually, we've been working with one of the startups in Silicon Valley, and their name is Monarch Tractor. They are developing, actually already deploying the electrified and autonomous tractors. And their scope is to start carbon-free agriculture in the countries anyway, which vision is much with ours. That's why we decided to invest. And we led the Series A investment for them, and we invited many VCs in the country. The one of the VC, the New York VC, they also invested into the environmental friendly eco startups, and they introduced one company named Arkwright, located in Kenya. They want to deploy, they want to start the EV ecosystem in Kenya, especially in Nairobi. And that's when we came to know the Africans.
Oh, that's interesting. So the starting from the startup based in Silicon Valley, then the connecting to the startups in
That's
Africa.
right. They
Wow.
introduced us too.
That's great. Thank you so much. So sorry for my bad time management, but I want to ask another question to Isaac-san
You got the
again.
50 minutes.
No, I think 5 minutes more. Yeah. So you said you found the prominent startup. I can say prominent startup
Right.
based in Silicon Valley. Then you found another prominent startups in Africa. So, but how do you find those startups? What type of the platform do you recommend if we want to find those potential partners?
Yes. I guess the most important thing is you have to be clarified what you want to do, what you want to do, what you want to achieve ultimately in the country of Africa, first of all. And if you keep speaking what you want to do everywhere, probably it's not you to find the startup. Startups come to you, or let's do something together. But of course, JICA and JETRO, they are so much involved in on the ground of Africa anyway. They are always a good support, and they have very updated information. That's nice. And you're gonna have like an event in Japan. Last few years, I realized so many of the African-related events in Japan. That's a very good opportunity for you to, attend. So that, but most important things, tell what you want to do. Then they will come to you, and if your visions match each other, they will be the best partners in Africa probably.
Thank you very much for sharing the experience. Yeah, I think this is a good opportunity. If you have any vision in Africa, maybe you can just talk to them or them. Yeah. So another question, and again to Watanabe-san, maybe you can share as a perspective of JICA expert. Do you have any recommendation for the Japanese companies if they want to find the local partners?
Yeah, maybe I need to say again. And thank you for the introducing the JICA network. And so maybe I'm the JICA expert, and I need to say so the JICA's PR. Yes. And as Isaac-san said, so JICA has many branch in the developing countries, and it means so JICA has many network and knowledge we had. So please so you can utilize. And so if you are interested in the African market or collaboration with the African startup, so please speak me or of course please contact the JICA headquarters. So as possible as so we can do for your support. And more concrete one is so I am doing the ICT industry promotion project in Uganda. And so if you are interested in the Uganda and the ICT sector, it is very easy to do the business matching with the ICT Uganda companies. And also under this project, so we are providing the online business matching. Under this project, so we are preparing almost opened. But providing the online business matching platform, and so if you registered, so this matching platform, it is easy to find a good partner, so the Ugandan ICT companies. And also the JICA has many the subsidy program. And recently, also actually, so yesterday, so we have the explanation opportunity, and if you can utilize so this the subsidy, maybe a little bit you can burden the cost of the developing the African market less for the perspective of the cost. So I am looking forward the collaboration so between Japanese company and JICA. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's going to be a great resources maybe for the Japanese company as well to find the local business partner, the local
But
human
I guess
resources.
startups in Africa, everywhere in the world, they don't expect the meeting or discussion. They need the action. So most important thing for you is to take the action. Even if it's a very small thing, you don't really have to make an investment at the very front. But take the action, take action.
So meaning go to Africa.
That's right.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, go Africa.
Yeah. Actually, before I went to Cambodia, I also worked in Africa, but more than 10, 12 years ago. Yeah, maybe the situation is totally different from at that time. So I'm looking forward to go back to Africa actually. Then I really love African people. So yeah, they are very, how to say, open-minded and easy to talk. And they are so happy people. So we're going to be very positive. So the last question goes to George and maybe Sharon-san as well. Do you have any expectation to the Japanese company? Maybe a few words from George.
Yes, I think it has been said, take action, go to Africa. Like you've said, the startups in Africa are open, they have the energy.
And very quick too.
Exactly. So it's just get in there, and they're willing to collaborate. I saw my brothers and colleagues, really opening up and ready to collaborate. I think from the Japanese side, the expectation is go with the openness and also agility to adopt so that you make that joint partnership a success. That's what is expected. And I think my colleague can speak to a little bit more of that.
Yeah, kudos to Kobe Prefecture, actually. Beyond the action, speaking also is very important because there are two different cultures. So you need to also understand from the point of view of Africa. But I've been living in Japan for about 2 years, 6 months now. So beyond just coming for events like this, I'm also in the field. I'm seeing how it works. And I think my major advice for Japanese companies or Japanese conglomerates would be that do not look at Africa as a monolith. So Africa has different ecosystem. The ecosystem in Nigeria is definitely different from the ecosystem in Uganda or in
You're from Nigeria?
Yes, I'm from Nigeria.
That's tough country then.
So there are different ecosystems, right? So if we want to continue this conversation, the conversation doesn't necessarily mean to just look at Africa, right? There could be a session where Kobe Prefecture is just focused on Ugandan ecosystem. That way you're able to learn more. That way you're able to also collaborate more. And then to the investors, to the VCs in Japan, what I would say is that investment takes a lot of risk. And culturally, Japanese culture does not seem to really like risks. But I would employ and encourage you to take the risk. And the reason why I'm saying that is that you would see how effective risk-taking can take when you are taking risk in the African ecosystem. It's a very interesting system. It's here to stay, and trust me, you would not regret taking that risk if you want to invest in the African market and the African startups. That's from my own experience. That's what I would like to say.
Africa is open for business.
Okay, thank you very much. Due to the time constraint, I cannot dive into the detail. But yeah, everyone, thank you very much for the insightful comment. Yeah, so yeah, just give a big hand to the three panelists. Thank you very much. All right, so in the last session, I'd like to invite two startups from Africa. Let me change the slide. Yes, we are pleased to welcome two startups from Uganda and Nigeria. So they are bringing experience and business model to the Japanese companies. So this is a rare opportunity to hear directly from the African startups and get a real sense of the innovation happening on the ground in the African continent. So I encourage you to stay until the end. So first, present Ms. Robinah. Could you come on the stage? Robinah-san, maybe you can stand this. And this is a slide. Yeah, this is a slide you can use. Okay, yeah, floor is yours. Please big hand.
I have how many? A very good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Robinah, and I am the CEO, COO, not CEO, COO, and investor relations personnel at RideLink. So at RideLink, our pledge is growth with every trip. Do business with us and growth is guaranteed. So what do? We're a marketplace. We're a marketplace e-logistics platform that connects Envision transporters on one side and businesses on the other side. Our market niche is SMEs, SMBs, small and medium enterprises is our niche, is our focus. When did we launch? We launched 2021, and we have so far reached over 4,000 business customers, and we have a presence in 7 African countries. And we boast of having served businesses up to $7.5 million in costs. What am I going on about? So our product is designed to address pain points for small and medium enterprises. When you look at the lady on the screen, she's a farmer. Her headache, her pain point is not producing the goods. It's getting those goods to the final users at the end of the day where she will draw revenue. And let's name this lady Angela. Angela has been in the production in the agriculture sector for a very long time. And her problem is transportation. How is this transportation characterized? What characterizes this transportation? It's fragmented, different transporters. There is a problem with pricing data. The pricing data is scattered. Very many middlemen who charge so many exorbitant costs that increase and raise the transport costs. And there's lack of digitization generally. That's what is happening. That's what is dogging. That's what is killing the business, the SME business in Africa. So what have we done about it? What we are doing about it is we have a platform that does demand aggregation, that does real-time tracking, and we have over 12,000 users on that platform, transporters, and we do route optimization and end-to-end digital. We offer an end-to-end digital experience. Now, and ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that Angela represents 80% of the businesses in Africa, which presents a huge market opportunity for all of us. And for the record, Africa is made up of 54 nations. So try to think. I just want you to switch on your imagination and think what opportunity this presents to an investor who is interested in Africa. I submit.
Thank you very much. So next, I'd like to invite Seun-san from Nigeria. So if you are ready, please.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Seun. I'm from Nigeria. I'm a medical doctor by profession, but then I decided I was not going to do anything hospital and very much interested in health tech. So if suddenly someone collapses on stage right now, what is the first thing you're going to do? You probably call 119 and an ambulance will get to you as soon as possible. But in Nigeria, if I collapse and there will not be a call to 119, instead I may be put in the back of a car or a taxi or rushed to the nearest hospital where I would be rejected and sent to another facility without receiving care. More than likely, I might die. More than 1 million Nigerians die every year because they lack access to timely emergency response from different conditions. And the limited services available are difficult to access because they are fragmented, expensive, and slow to respond. Emergency Response Africa is a significant untapped opportunity. The increase in disasters and public health emergencies give a rise in demand for public safety systems and data. And the shortage of service providers make this the right time for the business. At scale, our solution will reduce preventable deaths by half across Africa and save the African economy about $1.3 in trillions. Talk about impact. ERA is a significant untapped opportunity because what we do is that with a team of experts, we saw an opportunity to use technology to close Africa's emergency care gap. And Emergency Response Africa, what we're about to do, or what we have been able to do, is that with the service, we connect anyone experiencing any form of medical emergency to the largest network of first responders, ambulances, and hospitals in minutes using technology. And our users can reach us via a toll-free number or via a mobile application, and the first responders are immediately dispatched to the location. Our technology is made up of multiple applications that work together seamlessly to ensure smart dispatching through communication and data transfer from end to end, making sure patients get the right help at the right time, and data collected builds health systems. We sell corporate subscriptions to companies in high-risk industries and partner with insurers to keep their people safe. However, we also know that ambulance costs about $65 per response, which means that poor people in Nigeria may not be able to have access to this service. And so what we've been able to do also is that we've been able to partner with governments across different parastatals so that emergency services, especially to low-income and undeserved people, can get access. Since launching in 2021, just immediately after the pandemic, we have addressed over 5,000 cases with more than 300 responses, partners in 8 major cities in Nigeria, and we have about 12 corporate partnerships, and we are also looking to scale outside of Nigeria. We are thrilled to be actively implement our first public-private partnership with a $350,000 pilot project with Edo State government, courtesy the FID. Our patient testimonies speak volumes about our speed and empathy, and we are a women-owned and company with 100% women founders, 70% women managers, and 50% of 74 total staff of women. We project to break even in 18 months and generate over $3 million in revenue by 2028. We are raising about $1.5 million in equity and grants to expand our public and private partnerships, invest in our technology, train more community-based first responders. This will put us on a plan to impact millions. Thank you for this opportunity, and I invite you to join us on this journey to transform emergency response in Africa. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. If you have any question, I hope you two stay around the stage and please ask directly to them. And three panelists again, maybe you will, I hope you will stay here around. Then if any other question, maybe you can talk to them as well. So thank you very much for your attention. But last but not least, I want to just you to capture this slide and just share with your friend. And we have the brochure there. You can take it and you can just share with your friend doing the business in Africa. So I hope see you again in Kobe City. Thank you very much.
ありがとうございました。神戸市による、神戸×アフリカ、アフリカスタートアップとの協業の可能性を探るでした。